Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic, and welcome to this Sunday night edition of the Wacky Woo. With me, of course, tonight is the one and only Jason4. You can find him at Jason42 on YouTube. Joe, welcome back. How are you, man?
Good. Ready to start the new year.
Exactly. Thank you for being on. And folks, also please join me in welcoming Richard, the Woo Woo Dude himself. You can find him at woowoodude.com. Richard, Happy New Year and welcome back to the show, man. How are
To
you?
you too. Happy to be here.
Excited to have you on. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight. First show of 2025. We're going to spend some time with you guys tonight, looking back at 2024, perhaps some of the highlights there, and moving into 2025, what we can expect moving into this crazy, crazy world. So let us know where you guys are watching from here tonight in the live chat. We are currently triple casting on YouTube, Twitter, and also X. And a couple of minutes from now, we're going to drop the YouTube feed and have the full no holds barred conversation here on Rumble. So if you guys want to move for now, might be a good thing to do. So guys, let me start. First of all, Happy New Year, Joe. Happy New Year, Richard. We've made it through 2024. It's been a crazy year. Apparently, we've got more coming on just in the next couple of weeks here, if you look at the WebBot data. But let me start with you, Joe. What do you think would be maybe the first three top highlights of 2024 as they pertain to setting up the stage here moving into 2025? What would those three things be, Joe?
Well, we've got our what seems to me obvious false flags, both of the events. Just like some other events that were sketchy. I'll just say that. A thing blows up, a truck blows up in front of Trump Towers, happens to be Elon Musk's Cybertruck, but doesn't blast. It was a military guy, works in the explosives area within the military, but couldn't even break glass at the front door of Trump Tower. Come on, what are we watching? But at the same time, it's like, what are they gearing us up for? So anyways, to answer your question, that's one of them right there.
Okay.
Again, there's the talk of the whole sleeper cell thing going on right now. What we do certainly knows about that. And then it's, today's the 5th, tomorrow's the 6th, guys. And Tori's like, hey, any takers on what the next event's going to be? And she didn't say, but she just posted that like, hey, what's next? So I don't know what next is, but they were already saying there was a bomb scare somewhere. They had to check something over. It wasn't in D.C. or by the White House or whatever, but it's like, yeah, just kind of curious how this is going to go. Not only the 6th, but the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, all the way up to the 20th and 21st and the rest of the month, honestly. What are the with these damn orb UFO things? And so, that's kind of it, really. The orb UFO stuff, the so-called terror attacks, and the whole thing about these sleeper cells.
And all of that populated by the Trump administration coming into office. Hopefully, here in the next couple of days, we'll see how that goes. Thank you, Joe. Let me read before I ask you the same question here, Richard. This tweet from Cliff High 10 hours earlier today. Many humans are so fucking lit up right now that they are near to bursting. Yeah, I feel that way. I haven't slept much. It's the energies, this anticipation, right? We can all feel it close upon us now. We've been waiting for this moment all our lives. We're talking about this righteous war, of course, that apparently we're all in, the spiritual battlefield that we're in. Before we get into 2025, Richard, let me ask you the same thing too. What were perhaps those demarcation events in 2024 that you think are placeholders for things that are about to manifest here in 2025? Let's start there, Richard.
Well, going back to, golly, it must be about 2 years ago. I think it was on your channel, JC, or Snippy's, one or the other, where I had brought forward way back then about the sleeper cells. So now they're here. Why I get things so far advanced sometimes, I don't know. I don't have an understanding. The second thing that I find is really big that has occurred and it hasn't stopped is, and that was on your show, JC, is the night that you had a show before we had the eclipse. And I said, and I know people thought I was crazy. I said, watch Lebanon. I said that the epicenter will start there, and then it'll be like an earthquake, and it will shake out to everything around it. We're watching that happening, right? With Syria, with everything. All right. That's a big thing that's going to happen. Now, I said a third thing on that show. Just so happens, I said we were leaving Jonah's timeline. All right, X marks the spot. All right, but I want on that show. I said, and I hate to say it, but I said America and Israel will be punished. I didn't say destroyed. I said will be punished. It's just part of the element that's involved there. And, on the Nineveh scenario with Jonah, the eclipse went through all those Ninevehs in America, right? But previously, it also went through many Salems, right?
Yeah.
That's Salam. That's Jerusalem. X marks the spot. Both will be punished. All right. I didn't say destroy, so please don't go crazy.
The orbs are here. I just caught an orb, son. I just want to for the record.
I told you I'd call them in.
Thanks, going.
Give us help. Joe, let's have a technical difficulty. Okay. But so that's getting big. Going a little further back that I think is a really big thing was the vision I had was a Russian bear standing up with the F-16 in his mouth and 3 missiles. That to me has happened. Okay. And I said we would see a new technology released. And when they dropped that new bomb, none of us have ever seen anything like that. And the 3 missiles in the mouth were 3 different types of missiles. Remember? And that's exactly what we saw occur. 3 missiles being sent into Russia. So that's happening. So the timeline is connecting. We're seeing this stuff happening. All right. Now, the other thing, and the other night, last week, when I was on Snippy's channel, with everything that we see going on, still the biggest thing that I see in front of us that's going to really create a problem worldwide. As I said, we're on Noah's timeline. And on your show, I kept going, storms everywhere. All right. It's not going to stop. It's going to get worse. All right. So we're going to be dealing with this as we go through. Okay. These times here. This is a time for change. Humanity has got to evolve here. It has to. Okay. How it's all done, I'm not really sure on that. But this is a time to really go, wow, I'm alive during this time of change. And it's an incredible change, and we're all part of it. We will participate in it, and we will absorb it. We will see these things that are going on. And the object here is adapt. The world's constantly changing. This is a big change. And we all need not to run in fear, but adapt to it and try to get the understanding of it, if that makes sense.
Adapt, improvise, and overcome. Yeah, absolutely. It does make sense. In some of those timelines from the past shows, we had talked about, I see that a lot of it now, as you're saying, is manifested or is currently manifesting now. Yeah. One part of that I wanted to bring back to you before we go too further is this concept of being hit by asteroids or multiple asteroids around the planet. Where do you see that fit into the timeline as we stand here today on January 5, Richard?
I would say this year we're going to see an enormous thing that's going on. Weather anomalies. I know everybody thinks it's all weather manipulation, and I agree. Some of it is, absolutely, but some of it's bigger. And I, I think I told you guys maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when I was talking to Spirit, and they said in this time of the crossing of the planets that the storms would get ridiculous and they would get worse and worse. But they said worldwide. This is not a phenomenon just for America. It's worldwide. But the good part of it, if there is that they said they were going to use the storms, okay, and Mother Nature, okay, against the dark ones. So, as humans, it's always easy for us to look at something and go, oh, how horrible it is, because you haven't seen the ending or what happens because of it. And sometimes you have to have faith, okay? And that I have a lot of. And I'm very optimistic. I said that last week on Snippy's channel, because Kamala hasn't made that move yet. And I'm just thinking, I don't believe that's going to happen now, because we're just too damn close. Right. I could be wrong, right, but everything that was attached to her that I saw, oh shit, man, it just made everything so much worse, So I'm thinking that, what I said to everybody, let's just pray, put the thought out there. Can we change a vision? And I felt in my heart we could.
Yeah.
Okay. And I still do. I really do. So here we are now. We're only a few days in, and it's like bang, 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 bang. All right. We're going to go through this for a while, but we're still on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, don't come to the conclusion, I know that ain't me, unless they're calling me home again. You never know. But, the things that just have happened, and I'm being careful here.
Yeah.
But everybody out there knows what we're talking about, from being out in Vegas to
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New York.
That instantaneously, there's certain dark powers out there. DS. We all know what DS stands for. Okay. No, it doesn't stand for doo-doo shit. Okay. But I think we know what it is. Okay.
Diplomatic serenity? No.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, you are good. I mean, you're really freaking good at this. Okay. But, you're going to have to use a lot of discernment and pull it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything you see and what's going on is not the truth. It isn't. It's way deeper.
Yeah.
All right. And that we need to get that understanding. Go ahead. You're about to say something.
Yeah, well, wait for Joe to come back here. While we do that, there's somebody, quite a few people are asking, because you mentioned storms. People are asking about the fogs. So let me see if I can bring that back up. This was one example of this. We've seen this now over, let's say, the last 2 or 3 weeks, these deep fogs. I think at one point we had 31 states altogether experiencing this weird anomalous fog. And the particular video we're watching now, there seems to be particulate in the fog. There was also the reports of these weird kind of residues in the pools in Texas, and there are also these little foam blobs running around after some of these events. Now, where do you guys, and Joe, maybe you can go first, where do you guys go in this fog? Is this being manipulated somehow to prevent us from seeing something? Some people are suggesting that's one of the camp or theories of thought here. The other thought is maybe we're being laced with something here as a preparation to a phase 2, that we need whatever is being introduced into our biosphere here to be conjunct with another material, and this is just phase 1 of many phases to come here. So where do you stand? Let me start with you, Joe, on this fog situation right now, and have you seen them also in Florida?
Yeah, people were saying they saw it here too. I know some people said they were getting sick as well. I don't know about here, but was it from the fog or not? I don't really know, but it does seem odd. It seems weird. It seems out of place. Like that video showed, these weird thick particulate pieces, not like standard fog. As far as the weather manipulation stuff, I do know Tori had said if maybe a day or so in advance, watch what gets hit by lightning or something like that. And we had the Capitol get hit. We had the monument, DC monument get hit, National Monument. We had the World Trade Center World thing, whatever, get hit. And we had the what the hell is the building? New York, the big tall building in New York.
Empire State.
Empire State, yeah. Empire State building got hit.
Yeah.
What is that? Some kind of warning to the deep state? I don't know what it is. But she's, a day or so before, she's saying, watch where the lightning hits. And then that happens. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Was the fog for our protection? Was it something else? I just don't even know.
In my view, the fog was not natural, is what it was man-made, and therefore you could presume that there is an objective in mind. And so my question then is, did they meet that objective? Is there another objective to be met after this? We don't really know where this is going. It's kind of like one of those in Florida, the hanging Chad situation. It's kind of out there on my radar. I'm not sure what to do with it yet, but I don't want to forget about it. What about you, Richard? What's going on with the fog?
Distraction. Yeah. See, it's no different than, okay, that's right. We're on still YouTube. It's no different than what was going on in the Jersey area that we saw a lot of highlights of. Okay. What starts to happen is they are trying to muddy the water as much as possible. So the more things that are going on, you're too busy. All right. You've been in the martial arts for a while, right? And when you're out there sparring, there's nothing better than coming up, flicking your hand, right? And then you go to throw a roundhouse, but you turn it into a hook kick. Yep. Didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah.
This is what's happening right now. Okay. Now, I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit, okay, on the fog. I believe in some areas, now please understand, this is happening around the world. Everything you're seeing here in America is happening around the world, all right? I really believe we have atmospheric issues that are going on, and this is all interconnected with the storms and the crossing of the planets, the whole 9 yards. But at the same time, what a good time to get people's minds going. Let's dump a little of this crap in here. Let's put a little bit this crap, because we really don't want you all to know about this shit that's coming. Okay. And I really believe a lot of it is 100% disinformation. And unfortunately, that all of what happened there?
We lost you there for a minute.
We lost everything.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me just.
I think you better get the hell off of
YouTube. I think this is a sign. Okay. So hold on, folks. Let me go back.
Give us a sign. Okay. All right. Come on in, you guys.
Let me bring the YouTube guys. Okay. So if you're on YouTube, guys, I just posted the link right now in the live chat. Please do come over and join us on the Rumble feed here, so we can avoid some of these glitches. All right. So let me remove YouTube. Yes. And yes. Are you live? Remove. Yes. That's correct. Yes.